the dead of night, a servant is walking inside the building. All of a sudden, he hears some weird sounds coming out of a room. He is a bit curious about the origin of these voices, so he takes a peek inside. The servant becomes really afraid after witnessing the source of the weird voices. The voices belong to a goblin-like creature who is chomping on the flesh of their young master. The goblin looks back after hearing the sound of the servant. The servant drops down due to fear and he starts screaming that the young master is in danger. The servant starts running back to call for help, but he forgets the lamp he was carrying there, and it catches on fire. The goblin is eating away the skin of the young master, but all of a sudden, a faint light appears above the young master. The young master wakes up, but his whole body is in pain. He is shocked to see a goblin-like creature munching on his flesh. The young master grabs the goblin with his strength, but no matter how much far he pushes the goblin, he cannot take him off from his body. The goblin starts laughing as he is enjoying his meal, but the young lord is not a pushover, so he starts eating the goblin. A drop of goblin's blood falls on the blue necklace of the young lord. The necklace starts shining and it completely absorbs the goblin in it. At the same time, two women burst through the door. The young man just transmigrated here, but he remembers that this old lady is the grandmother of the real owner of this body, and she was very kind to her grandson. The woman next to her grandmother tells the grandma to stop crying because Gu Cheng is alive and well. The owner of this body is called Gu Cheng, and he gives a suspicious look to the women. Cheng comforts his grandma by saying that she should rest assured because her grandson will not die so easily. A person steps inside and he tells everyone that this whole room is full of demonic energy. This person is called Tie Chan Ying, and he is the security guard of City Knight's division. Cheng's grandma informs him that this person specializes in events related to demons. Tie is a bit confused because this mansion receives a lot of sunlight and it is quite hard for a demon to appear here. Tie comes to a conclusion that maybe someone deliberately placed the demon in the young master's room. All of a sudden, the behavior of the woman changes and she says that their servants are all loyal and they will never place a demon in here. Tia tells her that the demonic energy in this room is very intense and young Master Cheng being alive is no less than a miracle. Chen confirms it that he got lucky this time and he asks Tia to guide him so he can protect himself. Tia appreciates Cheng for being honest and courageous. Tia further informs him that there are two ways for him to get stronger. The first method is to find a monk or an advanced rank Taoist priest to purify the yin near him, but this method will only work for a short span of time. The second method is to join the Night Division. Cheng has a good history, so Tia can recommend him to the Night Division. Cheng asks Tia if he will be safe if he joins the Night Division. Tia tells him that his safety is not guaranteed, but the Night Division will teach him spiritual practices and he can protect himself using those teachings. Tia starts leaving and he advises Cheng to consider it well, whether he wants to join the Night Division or not. After that, Cheng's grandmother and the woman leave the room as well. Cheng remembers that he bought this ghost pendant from the black market in his previous life, but when he was returning to his home, he was hit by a truck-kun and he got transmigrated to this world. He is wondering that the demon also disappeared after his blood dropped on the pendant. All of a sudden, the pendant starts glowing and he can feel his consciousness getting sucked inside the pendant. After some time, Cheng appears inside the pendant and the goblin is also present there. The demon is acting quite friendly and he wants to go outside with Cheng. The goblin climbs on his shoulder. Cheng uses the pendant and it starts glowing green again. After some time, they both get teleported back to their world. Cheng is quite exhausted after the teleportation and he gets the feeling that he cannot keep this demon outside for too long. Cheng asks the demon if he can do something useful for him. The monster opens up his mouth and black-colored smoke starts coming out of it. The smoke forms into a mirror and Cheng can see two persons inside it. The male person is in pain because he has lost contact with his contracted demon, and the woman belittles him for being useless. Now Cheng knows that the one who wanted him dead was his aunt. The next morning, Cheng is being trained by Tia in the training fields. Cheng takes a deep breath to calm himself. He then punches the training pillar with his full force. Tia is impressed by the progress of Cheng. Tia informs Cheng that he has reached the initial stage of external training, and he has now entered the realm of a practitioner. Cheng thanks Tia for lending him two mysterious techniques which helped him a lot in his training. Tia tells him that these are just basic exercises and he will have to rely on himself if he wants to improve in the future. Cheng says that he will pay heed to Tia's advice. Tie asks Cheng if he wants to become a warrior or a practitioner in the future. Cheng asks Tie why he can't adopt both paths at once, and Tie replies by saying that a person's energy is limited, and it is already difficult to cultivate one of them to the top. There are 9 realms of a practitioner, which start with Key Cultivation realm and end at Ascended God realm. Both warrior and a practitioner have their pros and cons, so Tie asks him to choose wisely. Cheng asks Tie on which path he chose and on which stage he is currently on. Tie tells him that he practices martial arts and he is on the 7th level of Bone Formation realm. Tie smashes the pillar into pieces to showcase the power of a 7th stage martial artist to Cheng. Tie is quite intrigued about something. He asks Cheng that he can afford all the luxuries as the young lord of Zhong Yong Mansion, but why he still wants to join the Night Division. Cheng tells him that the world is a chaotic place and there are monsters everywhere, so he wants to protect himself in the future. Tie appreciates Cheng for having a good world view. An old servant arrives there and he informs Cheng that the carriage is ready and he can depart right away. Cheng says his farewell to his master Tie as he leaves for the carriage. As he is about to depart, his grandma comes up to him and she is quite worried about his grandson's safety. His grandma tells him to never worry about money, and he can ask for as much as he wants without any hesitation. Gu Zheng, who is his second uncle's son, comes to wish him best of luck for his journey. Cheng thanks him for seeing him off. Cheng thinks that he is probably the reason why his aunt wants him dead. His aunt comes late and she starts acting like she is worried about Cheng's safety. Cheng now knows this woman is too vicious. Cheng boards the carriage and it starts leaving for their next destination. Cheng is determined to become stronger and return to rule this town. On their way, a person comes in front of the carriage. The carriage driver stops the carriage for them. The people in front of the carriage are Han Ting and Qian Xing, who are both outlaws. The driver tells them both that Gu Cheng is inside the carriage and he has no weapon on him. He asks them to pay his share just like they decided earlier. Han Ting thanks him for his service and he beheads the carriage driver in one swing. The head of the carriage driver fall off in the distance. Qian Xing informs Han Ting that their leader told them that Cheng is just an ordinary spoiled brat, and Han Ting can take care of him by himself. Han Ting tells Qian Xing to leave it up to him and he starts moving toward the carriage. Han Ting pushes aside the curtain with his sword and a pouch is thrown toward him from the gap. Han Ting tries to catch the pouch with his bare hands, but all of a sudden, a sword pierces just below his throat. Han Ting thought Cheng was unarmed, that's why he got careless. Cheng had stored his weapons inside the pendant and he took out his sword when he felt like his life was in danger. Cheng tells Han Ting to have a happy journey in the afterlife and he pulls the sword out of Han Ting's neck. Qian Xing starts rushing toward Cheng to take revenge for his friend. Cheng kicks the body of Han Ting toward Qian Xing. Qian Xing catches the body of Han Ting and Cheng appears behind him in an instant. Cheng performs a sword slash attack, but Qian Xing manages to block it with one of his arms, which is full of bandages. The bandages get ripped apart and Qian Xing pushes Gu Cheng away with his demonic arm. Gu Cheng falls quite far away and he starts coughing up blood. Qian Xing informs him that normal weapons can't hurt his dormant arm of demonic corpse. Cheng can feel that the left arm of Qian Xing is emitting a weird yin aura and he needs to get rid of it as fast as possible. Qian Xing informs Cheng that he won against his friend using underhanded methods, and Cheng cannot win against him because Qian Xing is on 8th rank of cultivation while Cheng is on 9th rank. Cheng already read about the demonic corpse arm in a book and he knows about its weaknesses as well. Cheng mocks Qian Xing by saying that he is a pest and he cannot win against Cheng even if he reaches the 1st rank of cultivation. Qian Xing becomes enraged and he leaps toward Cheng. Cheng uses his sword to block the attack of Qian Xing, but the sword starts bending due to the impact of the demonic arm. The sword cannot hold the force of the demonic arm and it gets shattered to pieces. Qian Xing starts rushing toward Cheng to finish him off, but it was all part of Cheng's plan, and he ordered the goblin demon to come out. The green light from the necklace pushes Qian Xing back. Qian Xing realizes that there is a demon on his chest. The goblin demon starts chomping on the skin near his heart, and Qian Xing asks Cheng how he can control such a demon by himself. Cheng refuses to answer Qian Xing as he's going to die pretty soon. Qian Xing easily picks up the goblin demon and he tells Cheng that he can easily take care of such trash monsters by himself. Cheng disappears in an instant and he appears next to the demonic arm of Qian Xing and he grabs it. Cheng starts smirking as the arm of Qian Xing is like a monster and his pendant can easily absorb it. After some time, the whole demonic arm of Qian Xing gets sucked inside the pendant of Cheng. Qianxing starts screaming in pain and agony. The main source of Qianxing's strength was his arm, and by absorbing it, he got weakened. But Cheng also lost some of his mental strength in the process. Qianxing is in extreme pain, and he starts cursing Cheng. Cheng notices the sword of Han Ting laying nearby. He kicks the sword up in the air, then he kicks the sword toward Qianxing with his full force. The sword pierces through the chest of Qianxing, and he drops dead on the ground. Cheng realizes that he needs to get stronger or he will not survive in this treacherous world. Cheng browses through Han Ting's possessions and he finds a sword art book, which will be quite beneficial for his training. The first assassination attempt on Cheng failed, so his enemies can send more people after him. Cheng decides to take a detour to avoid any further encounters. Cheng starts walking through a mountainous path on foot. He takes a break to read the contents of the sword art book to polish his sword skills. It starts getting dark, so he starts looking for a place to spend the night. After some time, he manages to find an abandoned temple. Cheng steps inside the building and there's a statue in front of him. The statue looks like he's watching Cheng with his eyes. There are also some people present inside the building who become alerted, but Cheng assures them that he's just a passerby. The girl on the back asks Warrior Jin to put away the sword as Cheng is not giving off any suspicious vibes. Cheng shows his gratitude and the girl accepts it. An old man tells Cheng to feel at ease as they are all fellow travelers. After some time, a girl comes inside and she's happy to see more people. After the girl, her senior Jiang and another traveler enter the building. Jiang and his junior sit next to the fire, and Jiang starts blabbering stuff about his great Qin Yuan sect, and the girl compliments his sect. Jiang starts blushing after hearing the compliment from the girl. The junior of Jiang introduces herself as Han Jing, and she is also a new disciple of King Yuan sect, and the person next to her is called Zhao Xinghua. They met Zhao on their way, and he's going to the capital for his exams. In the end, Cheng introduces himself as a mere traveler. Han Jing and Zhao are not much impressed by the short introduction of Cheng. After a whole hour of silence, everyone gets bored, so Han Jing suggests sharing a horror story to pass the time. Zhao tells them that he will share a very good horror story called Ghosts Helping the Tiger to Do Evil. Legend says that people who get devoured by tigers become ghosts, and these ghosts help the tigers in attracting more people to them. The tiger only lets go of the previous ghost after obtaining a new successor. Han Jing says that ghosts are the real evil beings because they help the tiger, and Zhao corrects her by saying that it's part of the human nature. Gu Cheng stops Zhao and he tells them that he has a better and a real ghost story for them. He tells them that Zhang San was a traveler and he met several passerby in a mountain temple, and he had a good conversation with them. All of a sudden, someone opened the door behind Zhang. Zhang looked back to see who just opened the door. The traveler came inside and he asked Zhang San why he was talking with himself. Zhang San looked back and there was no one present in the room. The story ends there, and Han Jing asks if the people who were talking to Zhang San was a ghost or was it the opposite. Cheng tells her that he has no idea and it's up to her imagination. Jiang tells them that the stories they just told were fictional horror, and he will now tell them about his personal experience. 1 year ago in a battlefield in Haitian City, a demon key cultivator turned every single corpse into a zombie. Those zombies were equipped with tough armor, and they had poison inside them. Fortunately, Jiang was traveling through that region, so he unsheathed his sword to take care of the zombies. After some time, he managed to take care of all zombies. He remembers that the moonlight was a little dim during that night. The stars were scarce and cold winds were blowing. And the weather tonight is looking same as that night. All of a sudden, the door opens up with a strong cold wind. Everyone becomes alerted as they start hearing scary sounds. There are some zombies in the courtyard which are moving toward them. Jiang tells them that it can't be real, and he was just spouting nonsense back then. Cheng informs others that these are low-level zombies, and they are easy to deal with alone. But their numbers are the real pain in the ass. Han Jing hands over her sword to Jiang and she tells him to get rid of the zombies just like how he took care of them in the story. Jiang tells her that he just made up that story to entertain them. The girl informs others that this room is too small and they won't be able to defend themselves in these closed corridors. All of a sudden, something crashes into a wall. Cheng just blew up the wall and he tells others to just follow his lead. They burn the temple from inside to distract the zombies while they run away from the path Cheng made. Cheng and the other survivors are running through the forest, but soon the zombies caught up to them. Cheng thinks that his plan of buying time by burning the building failed. Two zombies leap toward the group of survivors. One of them is about to catch the girl, but his hand gets chopped off. Warrior Lin stabs the head of the second zombie and he tells the girl to be more careful. Jiang informs others that the weakness of the zombies are their heads. After knowing the weakness of the zombies, Cheng easily beheads some of them. Zhao knows the way which leads to the bottom of the mountain, so he asks others to follow him. Jiang asks Han Jing to follow Zhao. Cheng already knew that Zhao was a ghost, so he warns them to not follow him. Zhao defends himself by saying that he is trying to protect them all, but Cheng is an ungrateful bastard. Zhao starts leaving and he asks them to follow him if they want, or they can just fight off against the hordes of zombies. Han Jing is a bit confused, but Jiang tells her to follow Zhao. The girl asks Cheng why he didn't stop Zhao before he already knew that Zhao was a ghost. Cheng replies to her by saying that he already warned them, and it's now up to them whether they believe him or not. All of a sudden, Jiang crashes into a boulder. Cheng becomes alerted after hearing their voice. Han Jing tries to lift up Jiang, but his condition is not looking well. Cheng can already feel something malicious coming their way. All of a sudden, a demon tiger jumps up. The demon tiger lands near a cliff where Zhao is hiding. Zhao is smirking behind the cliff as everything is going according to his plan. Cheng informs them that the story Zhao told them was true, and Zhao is currently acting as a ghost under the demon tiger. Han Jing requests Cheng to save Jiang. All of a sudden, the demon tiger appears right above Han Jing. As he is about to attack her, a slash attack moves toward him, and the demon tiger jumps back toward the cliff. The demon tiger is giving off an evil glare as his face was cut by the last slash attack. The slash attack was performed by Cheng, who tells the tiger demon to try harder next time. Cheng asks Jiang to leave the demon tiger to him, and they can help others by dealing with the zombies. Jiang agrees with Cheng, and he asks him to be careful. Demon Tiger gives out a loud roar, and he starts rushing toward Cheng. Cheng uses heavy sword slash, which he learned from the scripture of the assassins, but the force of the Demon Tiger's attack is too fierce. Cheng knows he cannot hold back the Demon Tiger with his sword alone, so he jumps up in the sky. Cheng summons the dormant arm of Demonic Corpse from his necklace, and he attacks the Demon Tiger with Demonic Corpse arm. The head of the Demon Tiger blew up with just one hit from the Demonic Corpse arm. The demonic energy of the dead Demon Tiger flews toward Cheng, and he can feel his strength drastically increasing. At the same time, Zhao starts running away after saying that he is finally free from the curse of the Demon Tiger. Cheng makes a sign in the air using a Dao technique which is quite effective against ghosts. The technique moves toward Zhao and he gets burned out of existence. A flame-like energy gets absorbed by Cheng's locket, and he can feel that this fire energy is quite different from the demonic energy.